Ahoy there, mateys! Today we'll be taking a look at the game Blackbeard's Lost Fleet. It's an upcoming deck building, worker placement, area control kind of thing with ties to the band Ye Banished Privateers. Now when I say upcoming, I mean expect the parts and pieces to look a tad different in the final product. Firstly, get yourself a big table, and I mean a big table. This thing has the footprint of a great sea beast, if they had feet, that is. You'll be playing upwards of 10 rounds against your fellow buccaneers in a fictitious historical account of Blackbeard himself. Rather than the recorded grisly beheading of Mr. Teach, he's flown the coop to parts unknown and all his stuff is up for grabs. And you'll be using rum, gold, and fellow cards in your quest to go after it. The gameplay can last 10 rounds, but if one of you makes it to the end of one of the quick victory tracks, you'll pull that early win. So there's a few ways to play. You'll be starting with a set of cards, like with any deck builder. But you'll also be choosing a unique captain with unique abilities, so choose wisely. Before setting sail, you'll remove from your starting cards any card matching another player's captain, and then a few more until you've got yourself a deck of 10 starting cards. In the future, there'll be other cards removed from the game, so set them aside in a pile where you won't get them confused with your discards. In some other games, removing cards from play is called banishing, so herein lies a big missed naming opportunity, because these are Ye Banished Privateers. But moving on. A round starts with the player that holds the first player marker putting a mutiny token on one of the ships. So you'll know that at the end of that round, everyone will be fighting for control of that ship. So if you want it for your fleet, best put some pirates on it. More about that in a bit. On your turn, you can do one of these three things. Play a card to use its sailing ability to put your ship on another ship. It probably just pulled up next to it. The sailing ability needs to match that ship, and you'll discard to use it. But then you get to perform the ship's listed action. Or actions. Some are cooler than others. If there's no ship token there yet, you can put your sloop or your jolly boat. If there's just a jolly boat, then you can put your sloop, but not another jolly. But you can't sail to a ship that only has a sloop. They rules the roost. The sloop, by the way, is the one with pointy sails. The jolly boat is more square. If you want to go to Nassau instead, you got to use the sloop. Smaller parking spaces. Pick one of the 4 areas in town, move your player marker up, and take your booty. It's the stuff listed on the top. There's more on the bottom as well, but you got to use the you owe me space to get at it. The second thing you can do on your turn is discard a card to use its action. Just perform whatever the card says and discard. Easy peasy. Lastly, you can fold. Turns continue round and round till all players do this, so take care of your business first. Folding works thusly. Just discard your hand and draw 5 new cards. Now the first player to fold in a round gets the first player token to kick things off next round. Unless they already had it this time, then it goes to the second. You get it. It's gotta be somebody new. Now whichever of these 3 actions you pick, you also get to do free actions. Free! Any pirate can afford that. Each card has a few uses. There's sailing ability, there's actions, or you can discard it to get the listed resources or favors. Favors are what it's worth. Discard these and they turn into money. Use that to buy the cards in the shop lineup according to their cost. Then toss those new cards in your discard and they're ready to shuffle in and help out. So now that everyone's had a turn and eventually folded, comes that mutiny I told you about. Naturally, the bigger strength wins the ship, but it's not just about muscle. There's some greed involved. Gold hath charms, mate. Each pirate is worth 1 point, but before it's considered, each player with a pirate there gets a chance to secretly bid some gold. Once revealed from your stash, each coin of gold is worth 1 point of strength as well. Aye, that may turn the tides in your favor. The winner moves a pirate to the control space and takes the bonus on the flying gang track, as well as a point to the controlled fleet track. Now we're getting somewhere. Their other mates go back in the pool, and they'll get a special bonus anytime someone sails back to that ship. As for the losers, we'll round up half of their mutineers and send them back to their pool. It was a good try, mates. Now that that's over with, give the shop a refresh by discarding the last card, give the others a slide, and add a new one. Finally return all sloops and jolly boats to sender and begin the next round. Don't mind if I do. Okay, so the big question, what did we think of it? Well, again, it's still a work in progress, but this game has a lot of rules. Like, a lot of rules. I personally didn't hit the point where I could just play without a rule book nearby. Made it feel like work. And the icons it uses were often confusing. 3 pirate icons means something different from 3 times pirates. I think just a rethink that could give them pluses and minuses could clear a few of these cards up. Fortunately, the book has a breakdown of certain cards and ships to help you understand how to use them. But it could still just use a little more polish. You know, to enhance that fun factor. Like it or not, this will end up being a drinking game. There's some great variety with the captains that you pick at the beginning, and the placement and the control aspect kind of reminded me of Everdell. Big fan. Plus, I never met a deck builder I didn't like. The premise behind the game seems to serve little purpose. It's just pirates doing what pirates do, for whatever reason. And Ye Banished Privateers' presence is seen, but not felt. They have a lot of songs and lyrics that could have been cleverly incorporated, but they just didn't go that route. For instance, there's a Cooper's card and it has nothing to do with rum, because, you know, Cooper's rum. If you're a fan, you know. I do hear that there may be some accompanying tracks eventually, and whatever causes the world to have more YBP music gets my vote. And you know, once you get the hang of things, I see some real promise in this one because it contains some great mechanics. And it puts a little pirate world on your table, where it should be. I'll be keeping a close eye on this one to see what the future holds. Expect the campaign to hit soon, and when it does, I'm sure I'll have more to say. Until then, thanks for parlaying with us. Keep gaming, mateys. Yeah.